Hello and welcome to Newsbreak Chats. I'm Marguerite De Leon, Rappler's lifestyle and entertainment editor. On May 31, comedy trio Tito, Vic, and Joey announced their split with E.A.T Bulaga's production company, TAPE. TAPE is now headed by the children of majority owner, former congressman and convicted rapist Romeo Haloshos. Tito, Vic, and Joey then announced their new home TV5 on June 7 with a new show titled E.A.T. In the meantime, ABS-CBN's It's Showtime moved to GTV, a channel under former rival GMA Network Incorporated. On July 1, Tito, Vic, and Joey's E.A.T and It's Showtime debuted on their new channels, and with E.A.T Bulaga battled it out in the ratings, starting a new chapter in the country's noontime show wars. So clearly the story has a lot of layers, and to help us unpeel these are our senior desk editor, Isagani De Castro, and our business reporter, Ralph Rivas. Welcome, gentlemen, to Newsbreak Chats.
Hello.
Hello. So, sige, let's get to the first question. So, Gani, for context, you're a former kapamilya.
Yeah.
And Ralph,
Disclosure.
yeah. And Ralph, you are actually both a former kapuso and also a former kapatid.
Kapatid through now defunct Bloomberg TV Philippines.
I
So
see.
yun.
Okay.
In a way, so we share the same newsroom. So
I
I
see.
see yung mga kapatid a lot. Nung,
Okay.
1 year na stay ko
Okay,
doon.
so I can call you Kat Rivas, basically. Okay. So, given all of this showbiz chismis, meron ba kayong interesting insider tales about this whole TVJ E.A.T Bulaga Bruhaha?
Well, yung latest chika.
Chika.
But so bali Saturday they launched the new shows.
Yeah.
And TV5 disclosed that they got an 8+% rating sa Nielsen. And it was around 3 combined for Showtime, combined meaning A to Z plus Kapamilya Channel plus GTV. It was 4%. So panalo yung E.A.T. But since then daw it has gone down. It's around 4 to 5% for E.A.T, and it's mga 3% for both yung E.A.T Bulaga tape and It's Showtime. So nag-taper off na yung kasi may pent up longing to see the TVJ after a month.
Sure.
So, and then there's also reports now for tape, dapat bumawi yung tape, no? So there are reports that si Willie Revillame might join daw E.A.T
That's
Bulaga.
interesting.
Juicy ng
Oo nga eh. I was like,
He was asked daw to join nung Saturday, pero dahil friends niya sina TVJ, he declined. Pero nagsabi na siya he will be back soon. So, ang speculation.
oh my God.
He'll be on E.A.T Bulaga. Kasi kailangan bumawi sila.
Right.
Otherwise, it will just be a matter of time na talagang
Mag-peter
malulupit
out
sila.
lang siya. Yeah.
At lilipat si, di ba, ganun ding.
Oh yeah, may ganun din. Pag pag nalugi na talaga si tape, hindi na makabayad sa block time, pwede na ilipat ni
Si Showtime sa
Showtime.
mismong GMA.
Oh my God. Okay. How about you, Ralph?
No, actually, yung mga dati kong katrabaho sa GMA, well, in the news department, they're both weirded out, but at the same time, excited. Parang weird times to eh. Parang it has never happened before.
Yeah, you would have not have predicted
No,
this
yeah,
years ago.
but at the same time, they're excited kung anong mga possible pang collaborations like certain na mga artista or talent from the Kapamilya network that they have, always wanted to work with before, but they can't kasi nga there's a great divide di ba,
Yeah.
between the two. So it's exciting kung ano pang possibilities, and this yung beginning nitong noontime, the end it's the new noontime war and the so-called end of the rivalry between the Kapamilya and Kapuso is something to
Yeah, I remember when we were kids, parang there was a very clear delineation between the two, diba? Parang we never would have predicted
Yeah,
that they would ever collaborate on anything. Okay, so Gan, you followed this story very closely, like almost every day may kwento ka. So, ayun, as you mentioned, E.A.T had a successful launch and the numbers were really good. But do you think for the long term that Tito Vic and Joey will see the same success on TV5 as they had with Eat Bulaga?
Yeah, if you when they announced when they signed their contract with Media Quest, hindi siya block time. It's a co-production. Tito Vic and Joy became producers na. So hindi lang siya an agreement to have E.A.T on TV5. So they're going to be producing other shows. Si Joey De Leon is talking about a cooking show. And then he's talking about reviving yung Wow Mali.
Okay.
My
Gag show.
favorite.
Pinapanood ko yun dati. Okay.
Tapos si Joey yung maraming gustong gawin. So hindi lang siya one shot deal. It's
Right.
so matetest yung kanilang creativity and initially I thought, baka na sila yung dahil matanda na, baka mahirapan na sila. But people who know them really well say they're really creative people and they can come up with a lot of good shows. And we all know, why people watch these shows naman. Natatawa sila. It's release of dopamine. No? They get hooked to the show and that's why it's lasted all these years. 44 years na yung Eat Bulaga this year and at Showtime will be 14 years na this year.
So specifically for that show, yung E.A.T, anong factors that will decide whether it will be a success or a failure?
I think yung creativity nga nila and both of si Joey and si Vic Soto, natututo na sila sa social media.
Okay.
So dati kasi mahina sila sa social media. So nung nawala sila sa TV, napilitan sila mag purely social media. So ang daming pakulo ni Joey sa social media. So I think yung combination na to, if they have a good social media team and if Media Quest is able to market these shows well, they'll have a good future sa TV5, which is good for TV5 then.
Okay, so Ralph naman, do you think it had been an easy decision for Manny Pangilinan, the owner of TV5, to snap up Tito Vic and Joey for his network?
Well, we have to understand that Manny Pangilinan really loves the media. He has a media empire now, but at one point, di ba, he tried to buy GMA7.
Right.
Di ba? Tandaan mo yun. He loves discussing numbers din, especially me as a business reporter. Pumupunta ako kapag may quarterly briefing ng PLDT, for instance, or his other companies. So he likes discussing numbers. Pero kapag, sabihin na natin kapag very hot yung issue, very political, iiwas yan. Aalis na yan sa ambush interview. Pero may mag-throw in lang ng question about sports, or anything na, oy, anong pinapanood mong K-drama lately ngayon, sir, babalik yan sa, So talagang, he really loves the media. Ito, well, before I answer your question, kasi ito, natanda ko tong kwento na to. Nung nagkasakit siya during I think that was the height of the pandemic.
Okay.
Nasa hospital siya.
Okay.
He was bored. Yung pinapanood lang niya is Crash Landing on You. And then, months after that, naging endorser si Yunbi.
Correct,
So smart, di ba? So parang, yung joke nga
The power.
The power of, di ba, of Manny Pangilinan.
Grabe.
So, yung joke nga namin sa mga reporters, parang, oy, yan nung nabili niya yung Carmen's Best, parang, nasarapan yun sa MVP. Kaya binili niya yung Carmen's Best. So, I guess, maybe, we haven't really asked him kung, ano bang mas pinapanood niya kung noon Eat Bulaga original or Showtime. But, that's something worth asking din kung ano yung mas pinapanood niya. But, I guess this is an indicator na believer siya nung kay Tito Vic and Joey and delivering ratings na talagang, TV5 has really struggled.
Exactly.
Recall na binili niya to nung mga 2009, yung deal. And the target then was to break even 2013. Pero 2023 na tayo and they're still losing money.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So hopefully with Tito Vic and Joey on board and possible more shows nga sabi ni Gani, we're looking at breaking even or maybe a little profit this 2024. So
Parang earlier the issue with TV5 is their signal was weaker daw. So do you think this justifies strengthening their broadcast signal?
yes,
With
definitely. Kasi ako halimbawa yung sa probinsya namin sa Surigao, GMA lang
Nakuha
yung
nyo.
nakukuha kapag wala kang cable. So kung is-strengthen nila and build more towers to, I mean, it's really the biggest factor. When I was a kid growing up in Davao City, malabo talaga yung signal ng TV5. Ngayon, it's better. And it has even improved last year kasi pinabuti nila yung signal doon. So that's one of those factors na nag-hold back din sa growth ng TV5.
And don't forget, they get Main Mendoza also, di ba? Main Mendoza na napalaki following sa
Yeah, of course.
social media.
Ayun. So, let's go to ABS, your
Yeah.
old home. What does this shakeup mean for ABS-CBN? Like, does it speed up the recovery? What do you
Yeah, as si Mr. Gozon, yung CEO ng GMA said, ang forecast niya, it's going to improve the ratings daw of GTV. Kasi nga, mas maganda yung mas powerful yung signal ng GTV.
Right.
So, most likely, they're going to get, maybe as time goes by, dadami din yung advertisers nila. Ang dami kasing, as Ralph pointed out earlier, ang daming pwedeng laro dun sa guesting. So yung mga dating kapuso na iminimix nila with kapamilyas, like you could have si Kim at Kuya Kim, who's a former kapamilya na It's Showtime din dati. Pwede siyang It's Showtime ulit.
May mga crossover events.
So, madaming paraan para to promote the kapuso, kapamilya, madlang kapuso, partnership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marvel DC crossover. Ganun.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and on the financial side, again, not to be too nerdy about this.
Go ahead, it's your job.
Pero, yeah, I mean, if you're going to look at the financials of ABS-CBN and GMA7, it's looking pretty good for ABS-CBN. Kasi during nung shutdown, 13.5 billion pesos yung losses.
Right.
Grabe, di ba?
Yeah.
And then 2021, they trimmed it down to 5.6, and then 2022, 2.3 billion. So, konti na lang, and it will turn in the green ulit.
Yeah.
So, maybe these deals that they're, kung sino man ang gumagawa ng mga deals na to, talking to executives, that they have your former rivals, no less, di ba? So, kudos to them. I mean, but I suppose the issue rin for me is, while the kapamilyas have found their rhythm na on how to recover, we must never forget what happened. Like, this is the Duterte legacy.
Yep.
And, basically talagang destroyed. Ang daming nasirang buhay dahil sa nangyaring yun. And this is just, the people being resilient about everything. And also, ang narrow pa rin ng ng space for advertisers. If you're going to look at the revenues ng GMA, it's quite steady if you compare it to even before the ABS-CBN shutdown. So what does that tell you? Hindi kayang i-cram ng advertisers sa even for the noon time, 'di ba? Parang alangan naman isang oras doon.
Commercials.
Oo, so we have another channel, yung kay Manny Villar na anong plano niya, kung ano bang plano niya. 'Di ba? Parang it's a very coveted asset
Right.
na underutilized.
Okay. So let's move now to GMA, which is in a tight spot, we'll admit. So we all know tape is a block timer. Pero how is GMA approaching the situation, you think?
Wala silang talo dito because they have a block time with tape. Tape pays them. We'll have to pay them until end of 2024. And now they have a block time with ABS. Panalo sila. Actually,
Okay.
to hell with the ratings, at last.
They're fine.
Yeah.
Parang ganon. Okay, they're good. Okay.
Yeah, but I think yung they've explored yung partnerships nga. They co-produced yung Unbreak My Heart with ABS. So I think in the future they're going to explore more co-productions na unique na hindi lalabas sa TV5. Kasi ngayon yung ABS shows are with yung primetime shows ng ABS are shown on A to Z at TV5. So sa GMA, you have Voltes 5 and then Unbreak My Heart sa gabi. So if I were in GMA's shoes, magpo-produce ako with ABS. After Voltes 5, magagawa ako ng another co-production with ABS. Kasi they recognize naman yung strength ng ABS sa creativity and content. So I think that's going to be, they did announce that during the press conference na marami pang partnerships in the future.
So, Gani, another thing that our coverage has brought up is the fact that the Philippines is still largely analog.
Yeah.
So, 50 to 70%. So, ang laki nun.
Yeah.
So, that's despite an NTC deadline to switch off analog by the end of 2023. So, ilang months na lang yun. So, clearly that's not going to happen. And digital has yet to reach 50% as of this Feb.
Yes.
So, why was it important to highlight those figures, that fact?
Yeah, I would say in the more modern setting, like to many of those in the A or AB income classes, on demand na they watch on demand.
Sure,
They're
yeah.
streaming na. But that's not the case for majority of the people kasi nga they can't afford, walang internet, may na internet, and they can't afford it. So parang it's a sad commentary then na people don't have access to streaming and hindi pa rin tayo on demand. And that's attributable to poverty and our poor telco infrastructure, no. So but ang good thing is may if you study the ratings of E.A.T Bulaga pre-pandemic, it was double digit pala. But so now nag-pandemic, tapos post-pandemic na tayo, hindi na siya bumalik dun sa double digit, which means na it could mean, although we have to study this more, baka yung younger crowd hindi na nanonood hindi na bumalik sa panonood ng noon show. They're into games and other stuff.
ML, gano'n.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add, Ralph?
No, I think yung concern ko pa rin is what happens to gusto ko ibalik yung usapan, what happens to the frequencies na kay Manny Villar. I mean, that's a very anong nangyayari? Anong paandar, 'di ba? Parang it's not just entertainment, it's also public service.
Right.
So that is something na kailangan nating abangan kasi it was really a heartbreak noong 2020 and yung na lang ngayon yung how do I say this, parang nag-shatter into 1,000 pieces and then ABS-CBN is everywhere.
Right,
Ayun,
right.
diba?
Oo, yeah.
So,
it's very confusing, honestly.
Yeah, so I mean it's also yung sinasabi nga nila na parang yung TV wars is over. Dapat natapos na yun noong 2020 pa, di ba? Nung nawala
ABS.
on free TV si ABS. But again, it's new territory but at the same time exciting.
Okay. Speaking of exciting things, there's also politics involved in this whole shebang. So si Tito Soto, Romeo Halos Hos, Isko Moreno, So they're all involved in this. So like, what are your core strategies, Gani, when tackling stories that have that mix of politics and entertainment na they're really married into each other?
Yeah, actually, ang main interest ko dito sa shows na to is really well, aside from the psychology behind people watching, is yung politics kasi I cover politics. So if you see Tito, when he first ran for senator in 1992, number one siya. He topped the election. So it really shows yung power of media, especially vis-a-vis political parties, no, nag-strengthen yung role of media. And itong away nito ng tape, between tape and TVJ, there was Tito Soto claims na si former Congressman Halosos wanted to change a show that would bring back yung meron palang program dati about kasambahays, and he was going to use it daw to parang may ambition to be in the party list race.
Okay.
Yeah, so merong ganong angle
May ganun
dito.
siya.
So well, medyo mahirapan siya ngayon kasi mahina na yung show niya. But that's really the although Tito Soto lost in the last elections, vice presidential, in the early stages of the polls, number one si Tito Soto, if you remember.
Right.
Nung pumasok lang si Sara, doon lang nag-decline na si Tito sa polls.
Okay. So, Ralph, beauty queen question. If you could have an interview with the network executives, MVP, tape, and the hosts TVJ as far as their business prospects are concerned, ano yung questions that you would ask? I know that it's been quite difficult to cover this story. So, what else has not been answered yet by your coverage?
I think most of the questions actually, kung pera lang ang pag-uusapan, it's really for everyone to gain, given the quality of ABS-CBN shows being out there, and rivalry is good for business, di ba?
Yes, of
Parang
course.
magpapagalingan yan, magpapaandaran. But I guess my question is, for Tito Vic and Joey, will they change pa? Or kasi sometimes may mga off na instances, di ba, when they discuss about controversial issues, or like kahit ano na nga, gender identity na nga lang, di ba? Yun na lang yung I'm sorry, I'm skipping the na natin. Pero I think that is with the new audience and the new business landscape, will old habits be continued?
Yeah.
Kasi nakita natin kung paano, how powerful the noontime block is in shaping public opinion.
Right.
And basically, ayun nga, sabi ni Gani kanina, yung politics side, kayang i-insert dyan ng
Anytime, whenever they want.
Very subtle.
Correct.
Subtle, not so subtle, and it shapes the entire landscape.
Yep.
So I guess that's the question there. Kung the old formula will still work, or if this is innovation, anong bago?
Yeah. So, Gani, throwing the same question at you, like parang how do you think E.A.T can improve siguro now that it's on a new
yun nga ang sabi nga ni Joey at saka ni TVJ, they're going to be introducing new segments daw. So, but we'll see what those segments, whether those segments will click, no? Kasi I think if they come up with really good ones, mag-i-improve talaga yan. Like, It's Showtime kasi, ang pinaka-click pala dyan sa It's Showtime is yung tawag ng tanghalan. So that's why dine-delay nila yung tawag ng tanghalan sa last part of the show to make people wait for it. No? So yun yung patok talaga yung tawag nito. But we all know naman, E.A.T Bulaga came up with a really good segments before, yung Little Miss Philippines, Pinoy Henyo. So if they can come up with new ones, and they're going to use the same the ones that have succeeded.
Same formula. Pero speaking of that, yung binanggit ni Ralph na parang they kind of like have misogynistic tendencies, they tend to be problematic. Parang do you think they'll change is there any chance of them changing?
Parang medyo matagal na rin yung na yun, yung
issue na yun.
Yung sex scandal ni Wally, and then si Joey had a comment niya about mental illness.
Right. Yeah.
Medyo matagal na rin yun, but I don't know. I think they've realized it's a really new conditions na. I don't know. Pero sa It's Showtime noon, si Vice, no? I don't know if many of our readers watch It's Showtime, but pag manood ka talaga, matatawa ka talaga, magaling talaga si Vice. I think he's really our best stand-up comedian. Well, stand-up comedian background. He's really our best comedian. And he, unlike sa US, kasi di ba sa US, yung mga comedians may script sila. Pinifeed yan ng mga, they have a lot of writers. Si Vice, he does it impromptu eh.
Right, yeah.
And he does it every day, for 6 days. Ang galing.
I'm curious lang bigla, Ralph, like, would MVP, like, be okay with the misogynistic eme-eme?
No, anything, of course, din yan, anything that's that controversial is also bad for business.
Yeah.
Siyempre kung pera-pera lang usapan, baka alam mo yun, it will be affected. But I suppose I'm really hopeful that kasi may pushback din si Maine Mendoza, 'di ba? Recall nung
right.
Nung mental health issue na ganun. So parang there's also pushback, and there's a new generation coming in,
right.
New hosts. And recall, Paulo Ballesteros is host of Drag Race Philippines.
Yeah, correct.
Diba? Yeah. So may may check and balance.
Checks and balances.
Check and balances.
Okay.
Or not, or really for Tito Vic and Joey to learn from kung other perspectives from this new generation.
Okay. Hopefully the boomers can learn. So
take note that si Tito is 76 na. Sorry, si Joey is 76.
Oh.
Tito is 74.
How do they get out of bed?
So an entire ilang generations ang na-entertain.
Decades, ilang generations. Diba? Oh my God.
So ang laking there are the cultural impact that they have.
Correct. Okay. So we're down to our last question for the both of you. What stories would you like to continue pursuing now that E.A.T has launched? Like, ano yung mga issues na do you think are worth following moving forward?
I think for me yung where the viewers are shifting to.
Okay.
That would be interesting to look more, kasi nung nga, as I said earlier, hindi na recover nila yung double digit rating before pandemic. So where are the viewers now? Are they into gaming? Are you into
online?
Yeah, online. Yeah. In other countries na they have studies na that have confirmed na ganun na yung shift eh. Yung younger audience, they're not interested in analog TV anymore. They're really into their mobile phones, watching YouTube and all that. Yeah.
And I guess interesting din when you talk about the discussions online. Marami, halimbawa ako, hindi ko kayang manood ng buong Showtime or E.A.T Bulaga or TVJ. Di ba parang E.A.T, hindi ko kayang panoorin yung clips. Halimbawa, Tawag ng Tanghalan, yung reporter natin na on sabbatical, si Lian Buwan. Sobrang
obsessed ba siya?
Obsessed kung sino.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oo, so yung mga, pwede bang how do we measure that na hindi yung buong show, segments lang of the show yung pinapanood. Diba? So, how does that reflect on the revenue side for TV5 who is hoping to, at least break even by 2024? Diba? These questions, interesting siya. And, of course, yung question is, magbe-break even na ba finally si TV5? Kasi that's a big milestone na finally ito na. And I think Manny Pangilinan wants to experience profitability before he before he retires. He's
Correct.
already what 76.
Yeah.
76 na. So I mean, yung narrative now is 'di ba yung ibang positions binibigay na sa iba, 'di ba? Yung sa PLDT, 'di ba, yung he's still chairman though, but he's no longer president.
That active.
Yeah, that active. I mean, he's still quite active actually, pero I mean paunti-unti na. So maybe this TV5 is the TV5 finally taking profit is a something good for MVP.
Okay.
Saka yung, ano pala, I had a story also about the Pinoy Hallyu, di ba? Yeah, so itong shows na to, 2 shows, yung E.A.T Bulaga was the first franchised Philippine show. It was franchised over a decade ago sa Indonesia. Yung Showtime naman is the first franchise of ABS-CBN. So, parang these 2 shows really shows how yung Pinoy creativity, how we can really be
Exported.
Export and grow our creative economy, like be like a Korea.
Right.
But maraming problems. So it'd be good to use these as really examples of how creative the Pinoy is, and build on these symbols.
Possible soft power. Ganun.
Yes, that's correct. Soft power.
Right. So unfortunately, gentlemen, that's all the time we have today. Thank you, Ralph and Gani, for being with us. We will continue to report on this. Follow Rappler on social media and visit Rappler.com. I'm Marguerite De Leon. This has been Newsbreak Chats. Thank you for watching.